I'll tell you, Biggie just asked me. I had an event this weekend called the Man Expo. Raleigh, North Carolina. Our station there, Rock 92.9, puts it on. Huge. Great turnout. Really had a nice time. They were so nice to me. We went over, gave listeners a bunch of T-shirts. Really cool. I came here first to this building, okay? It's for me, it's an hour and 15-minute drive to get to the state fairgrounds where this was going on. And you all will get this. You know, I came into the building. I had to get our prize wheel and a couple of, I had my, we were going to play Put Up or Shut Up rock and roll trivia on the stage. I had printed up my questions, and I had them there. So I came in plenty of time, and I had to leave with the prize wheel and the questions, and I had to have them. Well, I thought, let me load up the prize wheel first into our station Jeep, which I was taking over there. So I go outside, I load the prize wheel in the Jeep, and then I realize I've left my keys inside. I can't get back inside this building without the clicker on the keys, okay? And there was no one I could contact in this building to let me in. And I said, there's only one man that can let me in. It's Dave Aiken. Biggie was in Florida. Of course, Demm was in Virginia. You all abandoned me.
You selfish bastards.
Looks like we picked the right weekends.
Yeah, you picked the right weekend to go out of town.
I thought, how am I going to do this? All I had was my phone and my prize wheel. Now, and I had the keys.
You got to MacGyver it, man.
I thought, can I?
You got to get a stick and a little pile of dog poop
Could you
outside
have broken off one of the prize wheel pegs?
I tried
and
all,
jimmied the lock.
all these different things.
Which window can I break?
I almost did. I was like, and then I thought, can I just go? Because I had the wheel and I had the Jeep and I had the keys to the Jeep, but I didn't have my wallet and I didn't have the questions. And I thought, can I just remember the questions and make up
You really have a lot of trust in your brain.
like,
How many questions roughly did you have prepared?
Oh, gosh, 75, just in case. Because the
I
way
mean, your memory's okay, but
No.
Then I thought, do I have enough rock and roll knowledge
No.
just to make up questions on the fly?
You would have done that, tried. You would have gotten one wrong, and people would have come running to the stage with their phones. Going, I just looked it up. Here it is. You're wrong.
That's right.
it's not a Beatles album.
Did you even research it? No, I didn't.
So I thought, I've got to get those questions. I just cannot trust my brain. And I thought, where do I go to do this? First, I called my wife, who also has a spare clicker. I had a spare clicker at home. I have a second clicker, just in case. And
Did you rate a second clicker?
Well, she used to work here, and I said, keep that clicker.
That's right.
That was ages ago.
I know.
Wow.
I said,
It still works.
Smart, though.
I don't know.
I got a new one. It
I
don't
don't
work.
know. I really don't know. And I said, keep that clicker just in case. So I called her. And now she's about 18 minutes away, and it was going to be a tight squeeze. And I said, can you bring me that clicker? And she goes, are you out of your mind? You want me to bring you that clicker?
I'm not wearing a bra.
And don't intend to the rest of the weekend.
Well, she finally said, okay, I'll do it. Let me get the car. But then I said, maybe Dave is closer. I called Dave, and Dave said, I'll be there in 5 minutes. And he was, and he let me in this building. And once again, you saved my career and maybe my life.
But her clicker wouldn't have helped you, right?
I think it would help. It's the door clicker is all I needed.
Yeah.
You know, the door clicker.
She has one of those.
Yes.
Oh, I thought
that's
you
all
meant
I
just the
needed.
gate.
No, I don't need the gate. I need the door.
Oh, yeah, I knew you
need
need to get in the door.
Yeah.
I didn't think she had. Boy, she is powerful.
Yeah, she's.
That one does work.
Yeah, it does. So I called her and said, don't worry, Dave's going to come. So Dave got, and you just don't have any idea.
No sweat.
And then it was a lucky thing, too.
Was Dave in like a, what's the word, a seersucker suit? What was he wearing?
It was late enough in the morning. I was not wearing the previous night's attire.
I was going to say you weren't so quick to get here because you were sleeping around the corner of your car.
Actually, Biggie, I was at your place.
It was so fast. Just boom, he was here. And then I got there. Now, I am not great. It's a lucky thing you came as quickly as you did because I wanted to leave extra time to get to the state fairgrounds because this is the first time I've been to this event.
How far off on time were you?
Well, I left. I knew
Not
I was.
much.
I thought I was going to be there really early, and so I got there probably 15 minutes before I was supposed to be. I was supposed to be there at 1:45, and I arrived about 1:30. You came to get me about 10 after 12, something like that.
I had no concept of time.
Of course. So I got there about 1:30, but the state fairgrounds are big.
Yeah.
And I didn't see the building I needed to go into. So I took my wheel up under my arm, and this wheel is heavy.
It is heavy as hell.
It's heavy, and I didn't have the case for it either. So
That's even heavier.
Yeah.
Well, that's no help.
The pro team didn't leave me the case, which was fine, but I had it under my arm, and the pegs were poking into my side. I was walking all around with it, and it was hurting. And I wandered into a flea mall thinking I was in the right place.
Oh, you just followed the crowd.
I just followed the crowd, and there was a flea mall.
Did you buy a Trump flag?
Big, huge.
I'll give you $5 for it. It's not for sale.
Does it work?
Fine, $7, but I'm not going higher.
Yeah, so it was really difficult. And then I was like, I'm in the wrong place. So, and I hate this on the phone. I was supposed to be in one, it was supposed to be in the Jim Graham building. And I put in the phone Jim Graham building. It was like 800-foot walk. And I look around, and I don't know where I'm going. And
I'm looking for the Man Expo. So am I, sweetie.
You know how they get at the fairgrounds.
Yeah, I didn't know. It turns out I was in a different spot than I should have been. So, and that, I got some real poke holes in my side.
Yeah, that thing's a bastard.
I mean, and I was walking around with it, and then got there, and the event was spectacular. Could not have been better. And, you know, played the Put Up or Shut Up rock and roll trivia on the stage. We had about 12, 15 players answering trivia questions. And Zach, who was a P1, won it and they gave a Yeti cooler.
Yeah.
It was very nice.
Sweet.
It was a really cool thing. Lots of, our fact checker, Rusty, was there. He came up to say hello, and his wife. He said hello. And
right, he and I are never in the same place at the same time.
Correct. We know that.
Can't be.
But he was
the same.
He was there, or someone pretending to be him was. Danger Boy was there. He was on stage with me.
Ah, nice.
And the crowd was fantastic. But the only issue was, now we had a certain booth space, okay? And there's a lot of radio stations in the group. A lot of radio stations, you know, broadcast from there. And I was supposed to be there until 5 o'clock. I was supposed to be until 4 o'clock. I was supposed to be there from 2 to 4. So about 3:30, and I had seen this about 3:15, a couple of Spanish gentlemen started walking around like eyeing me, looking at me. And I was still spinning the prize wheel, and a lot of folks were in line there. And a guy...
Did you feel nervous?
A little, because they kept staring at me and like wandering around me. And finally, one came up to me and he said, "This is Lale. This is our space." Like Lale is the Spanish radio station.
Yes, they are.
Yes. And this is Lale at 3 o'clock. And this was like 3:30. And I was like, oh, I didn't know.
¿Cómo se llama?
Yeah, it's 3:30. And he goes, Lale, tres, Lale. And so I gave up the space immediately.
Guys, shut it down. Lale is here.
So I start taking down all my things.
Border skirmish at the fairgrounds.
This is what's happening to America.
Well,
thanks, Biden.
You know,
Jeez.
I start taking down all the things.
Ándale, ándale.
And
faster.
Lale starts putting theirs up. Well, the program director of Rock 92.9.
Whoa! What is this?
He came walking over and was like, "What's going on? What's going on here?" And I was like, "That's Lale." And I'm a wheel under my arm, you know.
Head out to the parking lot again. I parked a very far distance away.
I must get started.
I'm over near the flea market.
And I said, "Lale came." He's like, "You don't give up your ground to Lale." I said, "Well, they told me at 3 o'clock they were so there was a huddle." And he turned to me and said, "You gave up our space. You gave up." You gave up.
But the Lale banners were all
The
up.
Lale band. The banners were all up and everything.
The personnel were in place.
Yes, and their prizes were out. And he's like, "You just gave up a half-hour time to Lale. We were slotted to be here."
Just stand over there by the cotton candy.
Set you up next to the water fountain.
What else was there to do? It was just me and a wheel. Now we had no tent, no nothing. They just set up. You know, that was the only space available, and they just took us out. It was like that time Chris Demm and I were playing football once, and a group
This is just weekend touch football with the fellas.
Yeah, but we were playing. We had our cleats on. And a group of Spanish gentlemen came out there and started playing soccer, and I said...
Yeah, we were at one end of the field, and they started playing at the other, and gradually their field got larger. Ours got smaller.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Me.
And they did the whole thing like, we don't speak English. And I was like, well, this is, and then we just left. We just left, turned and left. And it was the exact same thing. Lale. They just kept saying, Lale, tres.
All you needed was a soundtrack from a Western.
Yeah. It's like,
a rattlesnake.
And the program director, right after I'd given up our space, came over and said, hey, man, that's our spot. And, then it was like, it was on between us and Lale.
Did they still give you your man card at the man show?
They took, no.
What's it called?
No, your Man Expo.
Man Expo.
You're out.
Expo. I was soft. I was the softest man.
Imagine if you were in charge of the Mexican-American War.
I know.
You know what? We'll leave. We wouldn't have Texas.
Yeah, you wouldn't have San
California.
Antonio.
New Mexico, Arizona.
I just gave.
This is our land. Okay.
I mean, I have never felt more emasculated than I have than I did at that time. It's unbelievable. Anyhow, so it was a nice turnout, and I wanted to apologize to the program director for giving up our space like that. Yeah. Man, it was unreal.